Weekly both threats for a year. The phantom defecator, steal a book from the library, poop in it, then bring it back. Gang fight, blood donation denied because STDs, teacher got pregnant and his wife was the last to know, police officer got shot and killed, somebody reported and active shooter in the school, parents are worried and school gets locked down. A kid brought a gun to school, showed it off, then took it home and killed his mom. He then rolled her up in a carpet, piled a shit ton of clothes on her, and had a party. After the party, he took her car, picked up his dad, and went on an arson spree across a few states. He's still in prison 23 years later. The wrestling coach was fired for kissing the girls' team champion on the mouth at the end of a tournament. A service club's initiation party led to a guy being beaten to death. Another kid committed suicide and bullying was a big reason in his suicide note. Survivors from Columbine had a speaking tour? When they came to our school, a fight broke out in the bleachers and they had to stop the event because the speakers were having trauma flashbacks. In 8th grade, the school threatened to close the bathrooms after the following incidents. Someone decided to poop in the sink. Someone decided to rip that same sink off the wall the following week. Multiple people decided that they no longer wanted to use the urinals, so they peed on the floor next to them. One of my teachers has had the pleasure of teaching 3 murderers. One was an accomplice, one was a regular one and the last killed his wife, mom and 9-month-old baby. A girl killed herself by jumping from the top of the building. A girl gave birth at a school event, killed the child and dumped it into the trash. For whatever reason, the grade above me has had more people pass away than any other grade combined, to the point where teachers and other students talked about that class like they had a black cloud hanging over them. While they were in high school, 5 students passed away throughout those 4 years, either by suicide or overdose. Before they'd made it to high school, one girl passed away from cancer, and another one went missing and was found murdered a few days later. Since they've graduated, 4 more have passed away, and all pretty violently, like from bad car accidents. One of them even died in a fire. For some people out there 11 kids might not seem like a lot from a class, but when your average graduating class size is 100 like my school's, that's literally like 10% of the population. Girl fell through the ceiling after climbing up there during a theater class to take a nap. She fell through in a classroom on the other side of the school, so she really went on quite the adventure crawl up in the ceiling. Posting another one here that I just thought of. 4 girls made a burn book in high school that was published on Facebook. They rated everyone in the high school starting with who they liked least in the school to who they liked best. I will mention I went to a smaller high school where this was a feasible task. All 4 of them were expelled. A kid fainted and hit his head on a metal projector stand and split his head open. Ah well, there's a few. This was all high school BTW. We had several bomb threats over the years. The one I remember most was being stuck in my biology class in 10th grade. They had dogs searching and stuff. We were stuck for hours. Food fights at the end of the school year would get so bad the school had to start putting cops in the lunchroom and outside with the security guards. One year, students pushed an officer down a hill with his bike. A teacher brought a gun to school. It may have been for protection. They kept it in their car and their car was searched. But they were still fired, of course. Gambling was apparently an issue at the school. Because my friends and I were playing War, the playing card game, at lunch and we were approached about gambling and we looked at each other like caterpillar cult. Context. Found a caterpillar in my garden, brought it to school. Named it Scissors. I got really popular for that, becoming a cult leader. Recruited 2/3 of the whole grade. At recess, somebody stepped on the caterpillar while I was running away with it from the crowd, killing it. The cult, including me, tried to injure the 2 prime suspects by tackling and chasing them. Recess ended. The assaults were still happening day after day, and I got more caterpillars. Tried to recruit farther, using posters made using some writing program. Got caught by teachers, because I had 200 sheets. Teachers showed the pages to principal. Principal said it was okay, not knowing about the acts we did. Disbanded an hour later. There was this huge race war at school between black people and Hispanic people. Big brawl in the cafeteria, 3 people got stabbed. 15 went to the hospital. A teacher had a heart attack in the middle of trying to break up the fight and eventually had to retire. 50 people suspended. And there I was outside the cafeteria in the hallway mad because I was trying to read my damn book in peace. Sounds like my high school. We used to have race riots every other year between the Hispanics and the blacks. My English teacher arrested for child porn, always friendly with girls, never thought much about it. And happy cake day. My statistics teacher was fired from his previous teaching position for looking at porn at his old school, found this out from another teacher, and then my principal got fired for the same thing. When that happened we were all like, well, 3 girls from my school kicked a girl from a different school to death at the local fair. My high school had a workshop with tools like saws and sanding belts for students partaking in carpentry or other similar subjects. About a year ago, there was an incident when a sanding belt got knocked off the counter while it was on, and sawed the thumb off the poor kid in its way. It became the talk of the school for ages, throughout all the attending year levels. Going forward to late 2020, our curriculum graduates and receive our yearbooks. And all the way in the student quotes section. My thumb. Gone, but never forgotten.